And five, four, three, two. Listening a radio discussion about the modern problem of light pollution. Okay, we have worked on the first part now. I only answered three questions. Okay, two were right, one was wrong. And let's continue with the second part. Okay? Aha.
Into contact with most often on a daily basis.
Could you just give us a few ideas of what, in your mind, constitutes light pollution? I understand one of the most serious problems is that of light escaping up into the skies above our cities, with the resulting glare preventing us from seeing all the stars that were once visible.
That is what I would term a symptom of the problem, and not necessarily the most serious consequence. I would recommend your listeners, if they live in what is termed a built-up area, to go outside after listening to this great program, of course, and to look up into the sky. I would be surprised if any of them managed to see more than 5 to 10 stars. If they had done this 20 years ago, then they would be talking about hundreds and hundreds. This is a problem that is getting worse. The whole light pollution situation is deteriorating, which means we are wasting more and more money. If I may, I would like to give you just a couple of figures which illustrate this light pollution problem very well.
Of course, go ahead.
The International Dark Sky Association has estimated that here in the USA, $1.5 billion is spent every year generating electricity for light, which is then wasted. That's the equivalent of about 6 million tons of coal to produce that electricity, just wasted. The United States' reliance on imports of oil could be reduced in a matter of months if a few basic regulations were introduced and enforced.
What causes this light pollution, Susan? Is it just badly positioned streetlights that shine up into the sky?
Well, that is true. It is a major contributory factor in all of this. Light pollution is not only light that is shining up into the sky, which blocks out the stars we were just talking about. Light pollution is also when areas are overlit. For example, or lighting is badly designed or badly positioned, which then creates excessive glare. This can obviously be dangerous if drivers are affected.
I know so many people are worried about security, and I imagine this is why huge areas of our cities are, in your words, overlit.
Many studies have shown there is little connection between lighting and crime. Besides, much of the lighting which is badly designed creates very strong light and shadow contrasts, which, strangely enough, actually creates good hiding place for the very criminals we would like to be protected from.
So what changes would you like to see implemented, Susan?
There are some very basic things that can be changed. There needs to be a standard for street lighting, which eliminates completely above horizontal light escape. By that I mean, we can't continue to use inefficient street lighting equipment, which enables a lot of the light emitted to escape upwards into the sky.
Now here come three more questions. Okay, on my previous test, I had answered, okay, in this way before I come to the next three questions. Okay, the odd thing about light pollution is that most people don't see it on a day-to-day basis, have never witnessed it, don't want legislation to stop it, don't have very much knowledge about it. Okay, this one. Two, speaking about the stars, Susan makes a comparison with 20 years ago in order to that the situation is deteriorating. Okay, that tougher legislation is needed, that cities are getting bigger, and that there are few stars than in the past. In my opinion, it is that the situation is deteriorating. This one. These were my questions on the first part. Three. A positive benefit of reducing light pollution that Susan mentioned is the U.S. could import less foreign oil. The U.S. wouldn't need to burn coal to produce electricity. Okay, the U.S. could import less foreign oil. Okay, remember I checked on these ones. Okay, and then which of these people does Susan not mention with reference to the light pollution problem? Criminals? Okay, starting from this, I will answer these questions related to the last part of the interview. I mean, second part of this video. Which of these people does Susan not mention with reference? Remember, they are three questions, three new questions, with reference to the light pollution problem. Again, which of these people does Susan not mention with reference to the light pollution problem? Criminals, pilots, drivers, amateur astronomers. Okay, she mentioned criminal. She mentioned drivers, amateur astronomers, pilots. Okay. Then, 5. What is the best definition of light trespass as described by Susan? Using light resources which do not meet international standards. What is the best definition of light trespass as described by Susan? Light trespass, or find definition. Using too strong a light source which creates dark shadows. Using light sources that allow light to escape into areas surrounding the parking lot, building, etc. Which is the best beneficiation of light trespass? Okay. Then using light sources that allow light to escape upwards in the skies. Let me think about this, okay? In my opinion, is this using light sources that allow light to escape upwards into the sky. Okay, number 6. Which of these measures does Susan not mention when talking about what we as individuals can do to reduce light pollution? Okay, let's check this. Again, which of these measures does not Susan not mention when talking about what we as individuals can do to reduce light pollution? Okay, let's look for it in the reading, as it was not heard. Okay, she didn't go further as to listen to this part. Okay, and this was a part that was not covered, okay, on the listening part. Okay, nevertheless, yet we can work on this. Which of these measures Susan does not mention when talking about what we as individuals can do to reduce light pollution? Only buy light fittings from a recognized store. Do not use light bulbs without a cover. Contacting politicians. Use downward-facing lighting. We'll check on this later on. Let's check my answers. Okay, you score 4 out of 6. Oh, out of 6. This gives you a grade B. Number 1, correct. Number 2, correct. Number 3, correct. Number 4, correct. Number 5, incorrect. Number 6, incorrect. Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll check on this on our next video. Thank you for watching.